And I think I've done like 4 races around here, and there's always been rain at some point in 3 of them. So why is my wheel not working? I have to restart my wheel. My pedals to change to setup isn't working. That's fantastic. Shocking. That'll be beaten. That'll get beaten by someone. Probably gonna get a very good start. So yeah, GG. Still good though. Act like that is it's not a bad thing. So okay. So what's happened here? Is everyone disconnected? Oh my god, what is going on? When can I take control? When can I take control? My wheel's not working. My wheel is not fucking working. What's going on? My wheel's not working. What is going on? My wheel is not working. Can someone invite me back? Fuck my life. My wheel's not even connected.
The marshals are on their way.
Yo, JD here, Limitless, and as you can see, we are back on F1 2021 as always. And we finally return to some league racing. It's been a while since I've done a league racing video because I was on holiday and we missed the last round of BRS and ORL. But we arrive here for round 12 of the championship at Zandvoort. And you could see by this intro, this track hasn't been particularly kind to me in the past, and I don't know what it is, but Zandvoort is a track I absolutely love to drive. It's probably one of my favorite tracks and probably one of my best for raw pace in a race as well, but nothing ever seems to go well for me. And when I get to the league race, it's just very strange. I just don't seem to perform that well when it actually matters around here. It's a very, very weird feeling. Like in practice, I just feel so dominant in practice when I'm competing against others. When I'm doing open lobbies, you've seen it before. I just feel very, very good. But then when it comes to the actual race, it's one of these tracks where I just don't perform that well. I'm just not in a good mental frame of mind. And it's weird because other tracks, it's the opposite, where I struggle with when I'm outside of the league race, but when it comes to the league race, such as Monza, I think is a really good example. When I arrive at Monza for a league race, normally I perform very, very well, but outside of that, I don't. So I'm not sure why Zandvoort particularly hates me. Sometimes things within my control or out of my control. But here so far, you can see in Q1, Q2, we managed to get through relatively strongly. But now this is my final lap in Q3. We've done a 10-0, which isn't particularly great. My PB is a very high 9.6. So we're quite a way off our PB. And going for this turn 1, not a good start to lap. You can see we're about 900s down, over a 10th down. Got this guy on the inside, which probably didn't affect me that much, but I do like to take it quite tight, so that definitely doesn't help going through the lap itself. But going through here, we've got a lot of time to actually make up here. A Mercy one, who we all know is very, very fast, currently on pole position here. Going to green into this and making up some time in this middle sector. I knew in the last sector could make up some time as well. The setup I'm running is pretty good in a straight line. A lot of people run 11-11. I wasn't running 11-11 here. You will see in the race that we had some very, very good straight line speed. So definitely setting up the car for the race, which is why I think we struggled a little bit in the wet conditions as well. So getting a pretty good exit coming off here. A good end to the lap, but I didn't feel that this was probably going to be enough overall. So we do set the provisional pole with a little sigh of relief, but we're about to see here a Mercy who's on the controller. He's a very, very fast driver. Is going to come across the line here. He's improving quite a bit on this lap, and he also does a 9.9. Very, very close in the end. But he grabs the pole, and he actually starts on the, I think it's the soft tyres that he went through on Q2 on, as you saw earlier here. So one problem we run into is that my wheel decided to stop working.
Sort your shit out.
And apologies, you probably hear me swear quite a lot when I do streams and when things don't go well. That's definitely something I am working on, believe me. But in the moment, it's very, very frustrating. And hindsight is always a wonderful thing. When you look back on things, you can see how you deal with things a little bit better. But we managed to get working again, starting the race here. And I'm actually the one on soft. So he went through on mediums. I use softs for Q2 because I don't really like to use mediums anymore to start the race here. So we're already on a slight back foot here. If there is no safety car, then he's already got the upper hand in terms of the alternate strategy here. So we're just going to try and get past him and create a gap. That's really what we need to do at this stage here. But the crossover between two tyres happens very, very quickly. And yeah, so I've got to try and stretch the field as much as I can. And then when I go for this undercut, just use my pace as much as possible. Really force him to pit earlier than he would want to.
He's on the mediums.
As I'm saying, he's in a good position, as we've just been saying. But the idea is to try and really force him to pit earlier than he would like. Because the softs can do quite a lot of laps around here. But they're only very, very good for about 5 to 7 laps, I would say, fresh out of the box. So that's the target here. So right now, we're just going to start behind. You can see the example of the straight line speed we have. We're not using any ERS, and we're closing quite a bit in a straight line. So I was pretty sure that he was using 11-11 wings, which is going to help him slightly on the tyre wear. But tyre wear isn't so much of a big issue around here. So you can see we're just starting in, not using any of the ERS here. But as we come towards the end of lap 4, this is where the DRS was activated, and I said to myself, okay, let's try and stretch it even more. And you can see we've already managed to stretch a little bit of the field, so we're creating some gaps between the different strategies at play. And I thought this would be a really good time to actually overtake us. We're on 100% ERS coming off the exit of this corner, just using a little bit. Does he go defensive? He's a very, very defensive driver, so we're going to go onto the racing line, take the fastest lap at the same time, and go down the outside of him. He actually sticks his nose down the inside like he did at Spa, so I think that was a bit dangerous from him. Could have easily spun out there and wasn't really worth it. So quite an aggressive defensive driver, I'm starting to realise that A Mercy actually is here. But we move on to the end of lap 5. The gap remains at 0.4 of a second. We've broken away from the 4th place guy, which is what we want to do here. So as we come across the line, let's see what lap time we do. Lapping in the 13th, but the safety car now comes out, which seems to get triggered by a pin drop on this game. And I've got a decision to make. And I decided to be a bit bold with my decision, and I'm actually going to box for a set of mediums. And the reason why I've done that is not really to try and make it to the end, which it probably could make it to the end, but that's because I was quite confident in my pace and that there could even be another safety car as well. But even without the safety car, I knew most people probably wouldn't be pitting from here, so I haven't lost that many positions. I've gone back to 8th place, but I knew with my pace and straight line speed that I could probably get back up there again, because people like A Mercy, if they want to pit for softs, they're probably going to have to go to the mid-20s or early 20s. So I knew that would be more than enough time to get through the field. So I was feeling confident in my pace, and I knew it'd be quite an exciting thing potentially to do as well. I could have gone hard, but I think I just would have been slow, and no, if there was a safety car again, that wouldn't have put me in a great spot. So we decided to be quite aggressive here and put on the mediums and see what we could do. So Mercer's go down the inside of Dizzy here, and now this is where the fun begins. We're going to stay on board now for quite a few laps, I believe. I'm just really trying to show what kind of pace I have. So trying to use the camber to get a good exit of this corner. Yes, we do. Does he leave this room down the inside or the outside? Yes, he does. So fair play to him. And you can see there's a straight line speed that we have. We're going to go side by side into this corner. Side by side, just kissing the side of his car there. Does he concede? Yes, he does. So thankfully, he does. And now we're up into P7 already. So thankfully, a lot of guys didn't pit, didn't elect to take this strategy here, and DRS is not going to be enabled for another few laps. But you will see again of how significant the straight line speed is, because most people do run 11-11 wings around here. So using the power of these fresh mediums, like these guys ahead of me who are on the mediums, they will have to go to only at 20, so there's still well over 10 laps to go, and I have about 9 lap fresher tyres than them. You can see his straight line speed. Is he going to put up a fight? Not particularly much of a fight. Going down the inside, be nice and bold and decisive with our overtake. And now we have moved up into P6. So 2 cars in really just under a lap. So very, very good progress so far, and doing exactly what we need to do. And with the wings being lower, I'm able to save a lot more ERS than the others as well, because Zandvoort is notorious for being a very, very difficult track to save the battery on. So I can actually afford to be quite aggressive at the same time. So at this stage, I was actually planning to pit again. So I was planning to pit mid-20s for the softs at the end, because I'm effectively on the same pit strategy as these guys up ahead, because they've all got to pit again as well. But I have the fresher tyres, so if I could get myself to the front and maybe even pull away, I would be in such a good position, as the Alpine unfortunately makes a mistake from behind. Let's see what our straight line speed is like once again. Not even using that much. Now we're using it here, and he's not even going to defend this. Our straight line speed is just absolutely rapid in a straight line. And now we're up into P5 here. So very, very good progress so far. Now let's see if we can do the same thing again on BRS Alex up ahead, who I know is a fairly aggressive driver. So I'm going to make sure I plan my moves accordingly. Now I've still got plenty of time. I've still got well over 10 laps to make these positions up. And you can see the guys up ahead, A Mercy and Kimmy, are putting away slightly. So it's even better if they actually lose the DRS to the car ahead. That's just going to make it much, much easier for me. But you can see we do have the DRS enabled now, and you can even see how much speed we actually are gaining in a straight. So braking that much later because we have the fresher tyres. Going through it here, try to not be directly behind him because I don't want to be affected by this dirty air. Let's see if we could do something now. A little snap of the oversteer, so a little effect with the dirty air there. Are we going to try and launch an attack? Yes, we are, but then we turn it off because we know we're not going to be close enough. But you can see once again how much more straight line speed we have. And GPR Jake has actually lost the DRS to the cars up ahead of him. So we could even maybe get 2 cars in one. So Not able to overtake a car here. You can see we've still got Alpha Nessus right behind us as well, so I've got to be a little bit wary of him. But at this stage, I was just very, very comfortable in the position I was in. Alex is actually on the softs ahead, so he should be starting to lose a slight amount of grip by now. Although the softs could probably even do 20 laps themselves, he can't go into another set of softs as we're literally pushing him through this sequence of corners. So he's have to go on mediums towards the end of the race. But we're going to be going on the softs. Or we could even just go to the end of the race potentially, as we just get caught on that curb. A very big reminder of how quickly things can change at Zandvoort. And this game in general really is absolutely brutal on the curb. So that means we have to use a little bit more ERS than we like to defend from the Ferrari up behind. But you're about to see again just how quickly we close in on these two guys up again. And despite that mistake, within a couple corners later, we're right behind them once again. So that shows how much more pace I feel we had than these guys at this stage of the race here. So using a little bit again, because I saw his red light was actually flashing down the main straight as well. Let's see how much more grip we have in this corner. We just have so much more grip than him at this stage of the race. So really, I wanted to get past pretty quickly now, because I can see the leaders are starting to get away. On another day, I would have gone down the inside here. But as I said, I know Alex is quite an aggressive driver, so I really wanted to be fully alongside. I saw this as my opportunity. He goes defensive. I'm going to go right now. So I'm making sure I have my car fully alongside. He tries to give me the good old squeeze, but we just have to out-muscle our way through into that corner. So he left me probably just a little bit under the room I should have had. But we had our car alongside, and that's exactly what I wanted. Now I'm going to try and get past Jake, because I know my straight line speed is very good here. He doesn't have the DRS, and we're just going to go right on the outside. He sticks his nose down the inside again. We leave him some room just in case. And now we are up into P3 on the fresher tyres. And now I feel we should be closing on these guys pretty quickly up ahead. As you can already see, the Delta is starting to come down as well. But as we go over this hill now, the safety car comes out again. And yeah, it's just very, very frustrating how often it comes out. But we're still in a relatively good position. But if you look here, yeah, we're about to see what happens.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your
What?
delta is negative, which means you are too fast.
Oh
Reduce
my
your pace.
god.
And that is just purely
Oh
a
my
lack
god.
of concentration. As simple as that. Although I might be moaning a lot
Oh my god. I
in the
wasn't watching
moment,
the
which,
Delta.
believe me, for me, watching it back is very annoying as well. It's just a pure lapse in concentration, and I don't know what it is about this track. I just make the wrong decisions, and things just don't happen. But that isn't luck or unluckiness. That's just me making a mistake. It's as simple as that. So now I have a drive-through penalty, which I cannot serve until the safety car comes in. So everyone else then pitted. See, Mercy's on the hard tyres. Kimmy's actually gone for some medium tyres. Another set of medium tyres. So I'm not sure why he has done that, particularly. He probably should have gone on the hards, but we decided to continue on. And maybe if there's another safety car, we could actually get something out of this race. But going through into here, this corner, absolutely love. We hit the curb, and the curb of death around Zandvoort strikes again.
God.
And again, apologies for the swearing,
Why does
apologies
this
for
track
the
fucking hate
moaning.
me?
Yeah,
Why does this track hate me?
it doesn't hate me. I just
Fucking my
don't
life.
drive well when it happens. And as I said, hindsight is a wonderful thing. In the moment, it's very, very easy to just
Now, in case it's a safety car again.
blame other things and stuff. But yeah, I just needed to be much calmer in this situation. And I think the problem I have with the Delta as well is that my screen is so close to me and it's curved around me that it's not really in my peripheral vision when I'm looking at that Delta. So I definitely need to make it a lot more obvious to me. So I will be adjusting that. But so frustrating because
Right, I got nothing to lose now. I bet there's not a safety car again. No, that's the thing.
It's just very frustrating because we were in such a good position and we did a really good comeback as well. And I think we could have had a really good chance to maybe even win this race, but we just do the same thing.
We've done it again.
Again! 2 laps in a row.
What is going on?
We've done the same thing. I just don't know what it is around this track. I don't know. As I said at the beginning of this video,
I'm not even going to speak.
I drive so well when I'm not in the league race here, but when I'm in the league race, I just lose concentration, and maybe it's a little bit of overconfidence, because sometimes having that fear and I don't know, it's just when you're sometimes overconfident, you just take things for granted a little bit, and I think that's exactly what I've done round here as well. But we're going to continue on. We've decided not to pit for new tyres, so we've done our drive-through now. You can see we're a long way behind, but I was really hoping that there would be another safety car, because since a lot of people have retired in this race, we could actually still have a great chance of even getting a very good result here. So I'm just pushing as hard as I can now, trying to set the fastest lap on these older medium tyres. The Snipes us at 12.5, but I think a lot of people have pitted for new tyres, so we are on the older ones here, and maybe just try and get somewhat of pride back in this race. But a safety car could still happen. We've already had 2 safety cars already here, so go around this last corner. I'm just going to use all of my ERS to deploy it here, because as I said, we can save the ERS relatively easily with the wings that we're running, and we do a 12.5 as well, so that made me feel a little bit better. Coming through into this turn 1, we managed to navigate this pretty nicely, but on the exits,
That was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're okay.
What the fuck is going on?
our fate is exactly the same as TSRL, Zandvoort, and
What the fuck?
yeah, a very frustrating race. And yeah, I don't know what it was. I just wasn't in a good mindset in this race. I think you could tell from the whole time. I was just frustrated from the beginning, and
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I'm never doing Zandvoort again.
I don't know what it is about this
my
track,
God.
but it's definitely not the track's fault. It's my fault.
Oh god.
I need to just have a better mentality here. But
Oh shit!
some fortune is that my nearest rival in the championship, who was in 2nd place, he had
He's still
this
gonna get
happen
points.
to him. So that is something. I didn't actually lose that many points in the end. But that is BRS Zandvoort. Very short-lived. And as I said, I have a lot of people come to me saying, oh, why do you complain in the moment? But believe me, in the moment it's very hard not to. But that's just something I definitely need to work on, especially when it comes to tracks like this as well. But thank you so much for the support on the channel. It really does mean everything to me. I hope you enjoyed this nonetheless, and I will catch you every Monday, Wednesday and Friday for a video at 4 PM. Catch you soon. Peace.